They constantly fight. Your antagonist is somebody that you fight with. So Shakespeare is using antithesis to emphasize the opposition, the hatred, the fighting between the two families. So look at the figure of speech and look at how Shakespeare's using it. Then in the next line, you should see the same word. Civil with blood and civil with hands. Let's look at the two lines. From ancient grudge, break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. And Shakespeare is playing with the word civil. So this is a pun. When you play with words and you're using more than one meaning of a particular word, that is a pun. So Shakespeare is punning. Here, not for not that kind of humor, but a critical humor. Now, I said there is not a lot of satire in this play, and there isn't. But there is a form of criticism, and the criticism can be seen right here in the fourth line of the play. You know what blood is, and you know what blood is on people's hands. When he talks about civil hands and civil blood, there are two meanings particularly that he's playing with. Civil comes from the Latin word civis, which means a citizen. So we say to you, you must do your civic duty rather than your civil duty. Your civic duty is the word we would use today. And what do we mean by your civic duty? We mean your duty as a citizen of South Africa. So give me an example of a civic duty. You don't go through a red robot. Why not? Because we've decided as a society that when the robot says red, that means stop. We've all agreed on this. You're born into the society. You take on those agreements, if you like. And we agree not to disobey the law. That is your civic duty. To vote is a civic duty. To obey the laws. You don't litter. You don't run naked down the streets. These are all the things that we decide on as a society. We are citizens within a society. So that's the first meaning of civil, is your behavior as a fellow citizen. You belong to the same town, the same city, the city of Verona. And civil also means polite, well-mannered. So I could say to you, please be civil when you are speaking to your teacher. Or I could get very cross with you and say, you have been uncivil to me. And I mean impolite. Now you can see how the two words are related. Because as a fellow citizen, you shouldn't be rude to me. You should show me respect. Because I belong to the same city. So you can see the meanings of the words are quite close. So what is he saying here? He's saying these citizens are shedding the blood of fellow citizens, which means that they are in fact worse than not being polite. They are being let me write that again, uncivilized. They are being uncivilized. And do you see that word civil is there in the middle of uncivilized? Uncivilized behavior is barbaric, savage. And we've got that idea also in this line. So let's try and get this complexity together. When these citizens kill each other, they are being uncivil. They are not behaving as citizens of the same city should. They are being worse than rude and impolite. They are not showing the respect that they should show for fellow citizens, and therefore their behavior is barbaric and uncivilized. And Shakespeare's getting all of that into that one line. Now that's part of the density of poetry, that poetry can say so much in so few words. That's part of what a poet is about. So when we look at the language and we try to explain it, we can't do it in one simple little line the way Shakespeare's done it. It's going to take me a whole paragraph to explain that line.